Hey everyone, it's day 4. Show us the way. Is this the way? A nice hole here in the wall. So welcome to day 4 of the previews. Let's hope I don't screw it up this time. And why is this so dark? So, okay. Yeah, today's landscapes. Some landscapes. Could guess its ways. They were announced. So again, the fake mechanic or fake card. First, let's see if I get the right one. Today's theme is landscapes. Ways are a different way to play an action card. When you play an action card, either do what's printed on the action card or what's printed on the way, your choice. Events are things that I really hope you know how they work. Which way is real. But how do the ways work in the end again? Like, do they get placed for a special action or for any action? Maybe for any action, huh? Way of the monkey. This time with art. Fake art. Put a card from your discard pile into your hand. You may discard a card for +1 action. What? So when you play an action, you can instead do this. Oh, it's so cold here. Either do the printed action or what's printed on the way. Put a card from your discard pile into your hand. You may discard a card for +1 action. So it would be, if you put a treasure into your hand, you can just, it's just +1 card. One specific card maybe. And then I could get +1 action if I discard another card. Could see that being true. It's not too offensively strong that you do it every time. Only in specific times. We have the frog. Gain a cheaper card. Ooh. No. I mean, if it triggers on any action in the supply, if this is out, this would be snowball way too hard. Well, it's terminal. It's not like you play the border village, get the village effect, and then you also get this. It's just like you play the border village, instead you gain a 5. Maybe it's even fine. Play the prince, gain yourself even cheaper things. King's cards. But you could King's card a 6 cost and gain 5. Someone is screaming here. Wow, what's going on? I hope you don't hear that. If you do, I'm sorry. Get away with this. Set a new messages. Okay. Way of the lion. 1 action, discard your hand 3 cards. So every action could work like a half minion or worse minion. Could also see that being true. I mean, they all seem reasonable. I like the ones with less text, to be honest. So I take the frog. It's the least amount of text. And I know Donald likes low text cards. So, which event is real? Wrangle. Oh, those are okay. 2 cost wrangle. I mean, the art is fake, I know, but okay, it's pretty obvious fake. Would be kind of cool. +1 buy. Trash a card from your hand, gain a horse per 1 it costs. 2. Isn't that too obvious to open with it twice? Like, if you have a pretty amazing open trash estates. Not quite sure that's... I mean, I always wanted a event treasure. Seems a bit like a too strong card for estates early on. Like, you always buy it. Solitude. Exile an action card from the supply costing up to 5 for 4. It's Feast, huh? It's almost like Feast, just you have to get it back. Well, you have to buy another one to get it at some point. Could also be true because, I mean, events using the new mechanics, and there are events, we know that. Field day 10. Gain 1 card from each action supply pile. This would be hilarious. I don't know. This is so... I don't know if anyone would come up with this. Or is it just has to be true? Gain 1 card from each action supply pile. It's like up to 10, right? Amazing for fairground finishes. Like buy all your fairgrounds and then I kind of want this to be real actually because it's so fun. Could go with the safe option, which would be option 4. But you know, I take a risk. I take the crazy one. Because why wouldn't Donald preview one of the crazy ones, huh? Well, he didn't preview capitalism. Okay, so let's go to the real cards. They just looked so real. I mean, I could totally believe all of them being real actually. Even if I wouldn't like all of them. Like the one was with the discard pile into hand. The way was probably a bit clunky to execute all the time. So go to previews. First we have ways. There are 20 of these. Okay. So there are landscape-like events and landmarks and projects. You deal them out the same way, except don't use more than 1 way per game. That's my advice. Okay, yeah, makes sense. A way gives an alternate use to all action cards that game. When you play an action card, pick... Oh man, that's going to be a lot of clicks all the time. So every time you play an action card, do you have to confirm you want to play the way? I hope there's some good automatic options for those. Okay. Otherwise, online games are going to become slow. Okay. Except don't use more than 1 way per game. That's my twist. A way gives... it's like all action cards say choose one the way thing, or what it normally does. Return the action card sideways to remember which one did the way. Okay. Stuff below a dividing line is unaffected. If it's like while it's in play, something that will still happen. Okay, that's nice for groundskeeper, highway, goons. Yeah, I can see that being strong. Ways work anytime you play an action card. This means, for example, that if you play Sheepdog via its reaction, that can still use the way if you want. Nice. If you throne room a card, it could be the way the first time, not the way the second time. Also nice. Okay, so here are the ways. The way of the... Did he change the name? Well, the way of the mole is real. Which one did I pick? I think I picked again a cheaper card. But they all were kind of nice. I'm happy that it's not the discard pile one. And maybe gain a cheaper card is one that will come up. So way of the ox, let's make that bigger. +2 actions, so any card can be a village, but a bad one. Hey, you can play a Necro and decide if it's the way of the ox. But ways will especially be nice with shelters, because you can use that turn 1. Or 2. Way of the mole. Discard your card. Talked about that. It's like you can play a minion engine whenever this minion-like-ish engine. Of course, a lot weaker. No self-synergy, but it's a nice way to try to save your Dutch or something. And you know, the disc draw to X decks could easily work with that, like Menagerie. Well, so many Menagerie combos in this expansion. And Way of the Turtle. Way of the Turtle, like the art, amazing. My wife will love that and always play with that. She's a big turtle fan. Okay, set this aside. If you did, play it at the start of your next turn. Hey. So every card can be a duration card now. Except it's set aside and not in play. This is really cool. I like that a lot. Play your bridge this turn. At the start of the next turn, you play the bridge and then you can captain 5 costs. You can set a captain aside and play it next turn. I don't know why you would want to do that, but that's funny. Or, you know, King's Court. King's Court with no, or Throne Room with no collision. Zack, play it. And next turn you get the collision. It's like summon in that way. Summon, but you didn't gain the card. But summon is incredibly strong. So I will think this one is also incredibly strong. Smithy, you know? Drew the Smithy dead. Now you have a barge like next turn without a plus buy. But still, the flexibility is awesome. This card will be very good. This way. Private messages. Okay, 20 events. Toil. You may play an action card from your hand +1 buy. I think I had something like that in my fan designs. Don't know if I gave it plus buy. I think so, and I think I also have it had a debt cost, but you know, he can't do that without debt tokens. Yeah, it's a nice way to play an extra terminal, but you don't really want to use it on draw. Maybe want to use it, I mean, the thing is, if you use it on payload, a lot of things aren't worth spending 2 coins for if they only give you 2 coins. You have to do better than that. Of course, there are attacks that you can use, like play it on a witch that you do that. Yeah, I mean, there will be uses for this, no doubt, and I'm pretty happy that it's in the game. Gain a gold per differently named card you gained this turn. Okay, I didn't stop the recording this time. Gain a gold per differently named card you've gained this turn for 5. There's a Menagerie theming different cards. Commerce. Is this even good? Is this even easy to trigger? I mean, there are horses that you can gain now easily. This would be one, but again, how many golds do you need? I mean, there's Windfall where you gain 5 golds for 3 golds for 5, and usually you can only gain it at a time where it's really good for you because you have drawn the deck. And here, I mean, here you could gain it anytime, but you have to work for it differently. But it's a nice way to add payload to the deck, I must say. Especially if you are in a windfall situation where you can draw the golds next turn. So yeah, this will be pretty good in the right deck. And then I was right. Populate. Gain 1 card from each action supply pile for 10. Cool, this one is real. I was right there. And I don't know what to say about this. The strength of this obviously will really depend on how good all the action supply piles are. The combo of Populate and then Commerce is pretty great. If you can make use of it. I think Populate will not be strong on average. There are so many crappy supply piles that you don't want a copy of. Yeah, pretty rare that this is worth 10. Because there might be 3 good actions in the supply, but then you get 6 to 7 bad ones. And Dominion doesn't work like that. You don't get one of everything and then call it a deck. So I think this one is janky, I like it, it's fun, but I don't think it will be strong very often. Okay, So there you have it. Nice cards, nice ways. I like the concept of ways. And yeah, I hope there will be more fun ways, like Way of the Turtle. So see you all tomorrow for the last day of previews, and then March 18th, hopefully, for the reveal of the whole thing. If you liked the video, you can leave a comment in the comment section or leave a like. It's appreciated. And good luck and have fun for your next game.